Good morning, children. Today I am going to begin with the new poem, which is titled Swift Things Are Beautiful. It is on page 122 of your Buzzword Reader. Before I begin with the poem, I would like to tell you something about the poetess. Elizabeth Cotsworth, she was born in 1893 and she died in 1986. She was an American poet and writer, and her first novel, The Cat Who Went to Heaven, which was published in 1930, won the Newbery Medal for the most distinguished contribution to American literature for children. And she has also won a lot of praise for her adult fiction also. Over the span of incredible career, Cotsworth published over 90 books from 1927 to 1976. Now, in this poem, the speaker talks about the beauty of both swift things and slow things. She uses examples from nature to describe this idea. Let us examine the title before we begin with the poem. Swift things are beautiful. What is the meaning of swift? Swift means quick. So the title says that swift things are beautiful. But when we read the poem, we see that Cotsworth draws our attention to how everything around us is fleeting and temporary and very quickly goes by. She wants to say that even though they disappear quickly, these sights are beautiful and we should look around us and admire the beautiful sights and enjoy the beauty of it while it is there. We should cherish these fleeting moments. Before I begin with the poem, I would like to read stanza 1. Swift things are beautiful, swallows and deer, and lightning that falls, bright wind and clear, rivers and meteors, wind in the wheat, the strong footed horse, the runner's sure feet. So here the poetess tells us that the swift gliding movement of the swallow and the deer is a beautiful sight. The swallow, children, is known as an acrobatic flyer, and deer is also known for its quick movements. So here she draws the movement to one bird and one animal which moves very swiftly. Then she talks about the quick movement with which sometimes the lightning strikes. Many times people are afraid and they do not see the beauty of lightning. And she compares the branching of the lightning to the veins carrying blood. She compares the veins to the shape of the lightning. It is an amazing comparison, isn't it? Then she also refers to meteors. Children, here I would like to explain to you that meteor is a rock which is actually falling through, crashing through the Earth's atmosphere, and it radiates heat. So when objects from the outer space coming towards the Earth, that appear to us as streak of light. Sometimes we also call it the falling star or the shooting star. And meteors, when it streaks across the sight, it is a beautiful sight. Then she adds the examples of the river gushing down and the meteors streaking across the sky to show how swiftly these two things move. We all know that wind is invisible, but we can see the effect when we see the wheat swaying in the fields. So the wind can transform a wheat field completely. Then she cites the example of a horse. which is galloping fast. So that is again a very beautiful comparison and a beautiful sight for us to behold. She also talks about the sure feet, that is, the confident, experienced runner, how he runs. The motion is very, very smooth and sure. Now we see that in stanza 1 she talks about the swallows, the deer, the lightning, the river, the meteors, the wind, the horse, and the runner. So she compares and she tells us that these quick, swift movements are beautiful sights which we should not miss. Then in stanza 2, she talks about the slow things that are lingering moments. Unless they are truly be seen and truly chosen to appreciate, they too seem to go by just as quickly as the swift movements. So before I begin, I would like to read the stanza 2 for you. The slow things are beautiful. The closing of the day, the pause of the wave, the curve downward to spray, the ember that crumbles, the opening of a flower, and the ox that moves on in the quiet of power. So, coming to the explanation, the poet describes the glorious moments of the sunset when the sun sets very slowly. It's a slow process, but at times we are so busy that we seldom have the time to see this beautiful sight. Next, she says that when the waves move very slowly, they seem to pause. That means to stop, and the crashing wave pauses for a second or two as it crests, meaning when to cover the air with small drops of water when it comes down. So that is again another beautiful sight. Then she talks about the beautiful glowing coals which slowly crumble to ash as the fire goes out. The poet tells us that though the flames have died, the embers continue to burn. Alright, so what are embers? They are a piece of firewood that is red and hot even after the flames have died. So it is a very slow process that the fire has died out, but the embers you can still see in places where it is still burning. Then the she talks about the flower which takes a long time to open. So she refers to the slow pace at which it blossoms, and it is a very endearing sight. Then the poet describes the grace with which the quiet but powerful ox also moves stealthily. So that is also, that movement is slow in comparison to that of the deer, but again it is very beautiful. So each moment needs to be treasured and gazed upon in awe, because we can find beauty in that sight. That is what I feel the poetess is telling us. She tells us readers to treasure the swift and the slow movements and to appreciate them, because we might not be able to enjoy these beautiful sights again. So, whenever we have a chance, we should not take it for granted that today I'm busy, tomorrow if I have time, I'll see the sunset. No, whenever you have to find time, whenever these things around us, they are such beautiful sights that these are going to carve a niche in your heart. So the beauty of the smooth, fast paced things is paired against the gentle and the calm movements, and the play between these opposites is lending balance to the poem. With this, children, I'll finish the explanation. I hope you all have understood the poem. Thank you.